Okie dokie. This is G7, also Chapter 7. This is all about similar triangles. This is a lot like the Chapter 4 stuff where we're looking at congruent triangles. In order for things to be congruent, they need to be exactly alike in every way. So all the angles are the same and all the sides are the same. Similarity, we want the same shape, but the sizes will be proportional. And instead of checking to make sure that all the sides are proportional, all the angles are the same, we have some shortcuts. First thing you always want to do in any type of problem is if you know two angles in a triangle, go ahead and find the third. It's an easy piece of information to find. Triangles have 180 degrees, so if this is 85 and 30, then this would be 65. This is 30 and 65, then this will be 85. Now I can conclude that these triangles are similar by AA because they have at least two angles congruent. Just because, we can see here that they actually have three, but two is the minimum amount. Because if you know that two angles are congruent, the third one has to be. Okay, we also have side angle side similarity. This is where you have an angle included that's congruent to another included angle. Okay, so it should be like sandwiched. And what we want to do is we want to take the smallest number with the smallest number. So 3 over 9 reduces to 1/3. I'm going to take the biggest number with the biggest number. 6 over 18 is also 1/3. When the sides have the same scale factor, that means that they're proportional. So these triangles will be congruent, or sorry, not congruent, but similar by side angle side. Okay, last theorem is side, side, side. And you just have to check to make sure all three sides are proportional. So you want to take the smallest with the smallest. Okay, so 3 over 12 reduces to 1/4. And you want to take the middle one, the middle. So 4 over 16 is 1/4 as well. And the biggest number with the biggest number, which is 5 over 20, which also reduces to 1/4. When all three sides have the same scale factor, then they're going to be similar. There are some things that you can mark when we're dealing with this. So one picture, and I've mentioned this before, is if you have alternate interior, or sorry, if these lines are parallel, then you're going to have alternate interior angles. That can also help us, because in a picture like this, that gives me two sets of congruent angles. And actually, I could go ahead and mark vertical, and that would give me three sets of congruent angles, and these triangles would be similar by AA. Something else you can mark is if you see a triangle within another one, like they're sharing the same peak part, the same like top, you can mark that shared as well. Now, if in a picture like that where the triangles in one another, and we know that these lines are parallel, now you have corresponding angles. And you're going to have two sets of those. And again, I have the shared angle, so I could also prove that by angle, angle. Okay, let's look at a couple of practice questions. So always mark what you know. In this case, I know that your vertical angles are congruent. Right here, there's a shared angle. I think that's pretty much it. So when I'm looking at choice F, I want to test this for side angle side. I'm going to take the smallest number with the smallest number. So 11 over 22 reduces to 1/2. And 12 over 24 also reduces to 1/2. So it looks like these are similar by side angle side. So that should be the correct answer. Let's hop down to choice J here just to show you how to do something like this. When you're checking to see if these triangles are similar, you want to compare this small triangle to the whole thing. So when I compare, I'm going to take 5 over 10 because 10 is how long the whole thing is, and I'm going to take 6 over 14. And those don't reduce to the same thing, so that's why those aren't similar. So F is our correct answer here. Okay. Which proportion can be used to find the value of PR if the triangles are similar? So let's just go through each one of these and see which one seems consistent. That's the key thing with proportions. There's more than one way to set them up, but you need to be consistent. If I go from the left object to the right object, then I need to go from the left to the right. If I go from big to small, then I need to go big to small. So this first one is saying 20 over 15 Now, if you're not sure, because we don't know the other sides, we don't know if 15 actually is the biggest number, we can always use the similarity statement. So if you look at x cubed, that's the first and last letters, that means that it will be similar to PS. So actually 20 and 15 do match. So I'm saying 20 over 15 equals 14 over PR. Well, again, I can check to see that XM are the first two letters and PR are the first two letters. So this would be the correct answer. And if you look through some of the other ones, it's like, well, this one's like, where are they even getting 10 from? Choice H, they're just saying 14 over 20. Well, those are two pieces from the same triangle. We don't normally work that way. I mean, you can, but it would need to be consistent. So like if they're going 14 over 20, then I would need to say PR over 15. So this side's flipped around. And same thing here, so just make sure that you're consistent. I went from the left to the right, left to the right. Okay, that's it. I hope that helped. Try the worksheet for G7. Check your answers. And then try the quiz on iTest.